We have been, and we are, at a time in the healing of the nations, if we so believe, for the past couple of years, decades, that we, if we so believe, are presented with connections and interactions with souls from past lives. And how they manifest in this lifetime is what we might need to overcome or realign from past lives to continue on our soul's elevation through the ages. Past life loves, having been fortunate enough to encounter this, it's always quite a strange and sacred sensation and feeling once you start to get visions and messages around this person. Obviously, many of us know that can either be intimate in terms of a beloved, or familial, or just recognition, soul recognition with beings we may have been family with, or other kind of interactions in past lives. And right now, if we do believe it's a quickening or a reckoning or a speeding up, or when we ultimately need to be slowing down in it all, but the energies are culminating into some sort of great metamorphosis, you know, whether we believe in a 2030 thing or just the evolution of consciousness minute by minute, day by day, right now, with each moon cycle, is we are presented with opportunities for growth and expansion, and they often come in the form of another, because certain things are reflected back to us. And it's a time where it gets a bit boring, that we can see repeated patterns playing out, that pain presents patterns in some of our behaviours in relationships, where we revert to the inner child and the pain and the hurt, as opposed to leaning into what I believe something far more sacred and spiritual, because of the past life energetics surrounding it. That if we don't choose different, we will only incarnate in the next lifetime with the same set of challenges. Now, we all have masculine and feminine energy in our bodies, but the masculine as a collective and the feminine as a collective right now are transmuting very different things. They're working at different densities. We are working at on different I guess themes. I don't know what the word is to describe the missions or the work that we're doing collectively or individually. And I just, as I try to process pain, and I could, you know, revert back to ways which would be quite volatile and childish of me, even though I have those moments pass through, you know, where I want to, I've said it before, you know, put my hand through a wall or throw something across the room because of the frustration or the reaction that I feel in the moment. But being in a place where I feel so blessed for what's arrived and the miracles that I've seen and the sensations I feel in and around me in a spiritual sense, and the desire to bring honour into this lifetime, to honour everybody, show respect and love, but honouring. People don't talk about the sacredness of a life enough, and honouring, you know, I'm gonna sneeze, this is summer, honouring, excuse me, we don't talk about honouring how sacred this journey is. If we believe we've got to a level, and it's not in comparison to anybody else, in our own journey where we're bringing things through from other places and spaces in time, because love transcends all space and place, and connections present themselves for our betterment, for our healing, because we're all meant to be getting better. Even though the physical reality might look like a lot of people are getting worse in a mental sense, and that is just the reality of crumbling old structures right now that present physical realm world challenges because of what's collapsing. But I guess I'm coming on because, well, full moon approaches, so there's this great illumination on the shadow, and to not bore ourselves by continually choosing the same thing or to put up with the same thing, to know how much we value ourselves and our peace, and to move away from drama, to obviously keep practicing patience and forgiveness. And one way I'm practicing patience, not forgiveness, but patience. I went to that seashell grotto in Kent, on the Kent coast recently, and I'm just trying to get the sacredness of this beautiful place, because that's going to take me a long time, probably out of all my sketches, just because I was really pulled into this old ancient, or I believe temple or place of some form of worship and connection to deep feminine wisdom. Like, the energy there is incredible, and for me, when there's a lot of like mental chatter, or I feel there's like these collective shifts and whirlwinds that are speeding up, I'm trying to put pen to paper at the minute and get out of my head, and did some drumming today as just forms of embodiment, which we've all been talking about for a while. You know, it's nothing new, but it's just coming out of the mindscape and into creation, because that's medicine. And so many of us have dimmed our creativity for a long time, maybe even a lifetime, that be that through gardening or food, or, you know, we don't have to be the top of the top. This is no competition. It's just, are we getting things that are inside nervous energy or upset or pain? Are we getting it out? It's really not the time to be holding on to stuff. It's really not the time to be in avoidance mentality. However gigantic things may feel in our heart or in our minds right now, because this is revelation time, so there are big revelations, and I trust that as we connect more to our soul, and these times as we all heal more, as the healing of the nations, as we do our work, which, people get bored of, do the work, but we do it every day in whatever way we need to. There's always something that presents itself for us to level up, and also to share our joy, and also to pass solitary moments to recalibrate. But it's just the soul, leaning into our soul's guidance right now is really important, because of the wisdom in those ancient soul contracts or interactions, whether they're, you know, here for the long term or short term. They're showing us what we need to heal, so that we can help humanity. Because, you know, each one teach one. My healing is your healing, and your healing is your neighbour's healing, and that energetic awareness, the like living consciously, like being consciously aware of how we utilize or work with energy on a day-to-day, it can just really help us. And sometimes we might fall off the wagon, but they're just not times to be playing small and like shying away or avoiding the reality and the practicality and the real lessons, the real soul work, the confronting of the confrontation of the shadow. If we don't, like, transmuting that pain so we don't keep carrying it into every other altercation or every other disagreement, because disagreements from the past, 11:11 just went past, disagreements from the past then shape the way we disagree now, and, you know, everything becomes this like stacking up of things, when if we keep clearing, like maintenance, you know, over the days, nothing builds up. There's no need for a volcanic eruption. We just evolve. And yeah, in a place where I'm trying not to get frustrated and feel certain emotions that I'm moving through. And yeah, embodiment practices are helping me to remember the soul more and allow her to speak, rather than come up here, is to lean into that wisdom, that soul wisdom of trusting what I know and why certain things have arrived. Even if we don't know the answers, but we have an intuitive sense of what feels in alignment and what goes against our peace, what we will continue to move forward with, and what we no longer desire in our energy field because it makes us feel shite. And it's not the point of avoiding all discomfort, but, you know, behaviours and things from others that are put onto us, we can love from a distance. We can't save anybody else, can't take on anyone else's karma. You know, karma isn't the negative thing, it is just cause and effect. And saying something or doing something will always have that ripple effect. So, without too much jibber-jabbering, and in the daytime with the sun, we might feel better at navigating through it, and then at the night time, especially in a blue moon, full moon, we might feel a little bit more of the weight on the heart, moving through all of this soul stuff. But it's highly rewarding, especially when we don't seek external validation. Like, of course, everybody deserves love. We all need to be loved and feel love and share it. But the I, you know, not needing external validation, not being desperate for love, not relying on somebody else to meet our needs. I don't know if that's ever fully possible. With the complexities of our traumas and triggers over a lifetime, but we're not victims anymore, and so we really do need to just like level up and mature into the opportunities that present themselves right now. Otherwise they can just disappear, and that changes the course of our lifetimes, you know. Many timelines to pick now, because we create our reality. So I trust that we're being conscious about it and holistic in our approach as to how we work with our spiritual health, our emotional health, our mental health and our physical health right now, and blend every single one of them, because they certainly all connect. you can't expect to be a healthy person physically if we're not addressing the emotional or the spiritual or the mental health. Everything will manifest from, for me, I believe, the spirit first, you know, our soul's essence. This is just a physical embodiment in this lifetime, but the spirit, the soul is far greater than that. So 1530, happy days.